Welcome. For today's idea, we're going to be looking at three specific things. One is to do with follow actions that you can see here in this channel 1, which is labeled operator. The MIDI effect rack, which is being automated via these follow actions, as you can see from the chain selector macro here, which is moving this chain selector around. And then the third part that we'll be looking at is the use of the scale device as a constraining tool, so that overall you can create a bass pattern that isn't necessarily reliant on your ability to play bass patterns. So it's a different way of kind of creating bass patterns. And I'm going to take you through all three parts. Remember to like and subscribe. So first of all, to this channel that I've got operator on, we get a MIDI effect rack and we drop that in front of operator. So we're going to have lots of channels using scale. This one will play the root note, so we're going to call that C. So that essentially all of the notes that we're going to use will be in this first column. So any note that comes in will be transposed to whatever we're looking for here. On the MIDI track, we have one note, which is here, C. So the next one we're going to do, let's say that we want to play the note that's an octave below this C. So this is going to be on this second one. So here, duplicate the channel. To get different registers, you can transpose up or down. So we're going to do -12, which will give us the octave below, and so on. And so if we wanted the note G is going to be there. And I'll create another MIDI clip, which will correspond to that. So I'm going to label all of these. So let's say that this one is C. This one here, C octave, and this one's going to be G. Now, the actual pitch of the notes that we have here are in many ways irrelevant, because whatever the note is that's coming in is going to be altered by the scale plugin. That's the really important part to get here. Open up the chain window and then move each of these to the next slot. We have 3 scale devices distributed on 0, 1, and 2. We're going to map the chain selector to here, to the macro. Now, as you can see, it goes all the way up to 127, but we don't want that. So I'm going to open up the mapping control. So we're going to have 0 to 2. 0 as 1, 1 as 2, and 2 as 3. That gives us the 3 that we're looking for. And then what we should be able to see is that as we move the chain selector, it moves. The envelope automation is going to move the macro. So that's what we have here. This macro is going to be controlled by individual clips. As this is sort of the origin, the point 0, we actually don't need to automate this one, but we will automate the other ones. So this one we will say goes to 1, and this one here goes to 2. Now what we have is that every time something plays, and I'll just solo this track, we can see it moving through. So we're basically getting a bass pattern that's moving between C, the octave C, and G. Follow actions are in the launch window, which is underneath this L. So you click L and it will open up. It's 2 channels, you've got a left and a right. At the moment I'm only using the left-hand channel, but what I'm doing here is setting this to any, which means when the clips are stacked together, they will move between their neighbors. So that whole block will be viewed as a unit, of which representing a number of choices. So you can basically go between them. So that's the idea. Here, we determine how fast the rate of change should be. So here it's 1, and this means like a 16th note. If we wanted it to be 8th notes, then you would change it to 2, or you change it to 3 if you want it to be like a dotted 8th note. So let's go back to the original track. In this one, I've got 9 different parts, and you can see that I've outlined a whole host of notes from C, G, B flat, E flat, essentially outlining a kind of a C minor type sort of sound. Let's hear it soloed. It's got that sort of Chaka Khan type vibe, Ain't Nobody. So you can see the automation that's taking place over here. As each clip plays, the chain selector is shifted. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you found it useful. Please remember to like and subscribe. There will be a few more videos in this series to sort of cover how you might actually apply this sort of idea. So do look out for those, and remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.